Finance Pastor, coming to you live from Chattanooga, Tennessee. What an honor and a privilege it is to be welcomed into your home. And what a day it has been in the stock market. We just finished celebrating a wonderful legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King over the weekend yesterday. Just been reinvigorated by his speech, what he has meant to society, and what he has meant to so many people through his teachings, through the way he lived life, and his peace, his journey for peace for the African American community. And what a legacy we get to honor. And I really appreciate Dr. King for what he has done and the example that he has set for so many people about peace and fighting for what's right through peace. And we have to just honor him and just want to thank God for his servant, even though he lived on this earth for really for 39 years, how much he accomplished. And it's someone to look up to and also to emulate and really follow his teachings. We're looking at the stock market, and it is bloodbath in the stock market today. The market as of now is just really getting hammered. As the last time I looked, it was down over 400 points on the Dow Jones. The S&P was getting assaulted today. What is down right now? 71 points on the S&P. Dow Jones is currently down 465 points. The Nasdaq is just getting hammered, down 296 points. The Russell actually not doing terrible, which is down 22 points, which is a lot of the mid cap companies there. So if you're a spread trader, you're kind of doing okay on the Russell 2000, but the Nasdaq down 1.26%. The Dow Jones currently down close to 1%, and the S&P down 1.04% as we speak right now. But what it is to come, we are seeing a continue run on gold. Silver is just blossoming. I'm glad I still held on to my silver, but it has just gone bonkers over the last 3 to 4 months. You are seeing a run on silver, and this is what you're starting to see is many people are saying that China is actually buying a lot of silver, driving prices up. And if you look at it, many of the gold and silver contracts that are traded in the stock market are really paper, and really no physical silver or gold are being passed. But you are starting to see people who are taking those contracts to buy gold at a certain discounted price that are really taking that paper and going to cash that out and actually buying the real thing. We're seeing a run on silver and gold. What does this mean for technology companies that rely on a lot of this industrious metal? And a lot of it could be higher prices, or have to deal with either uh, digging for more silver or gold. So you look at companies like Coeur d'Alene, ML. You got uh, uh, different companies. I can't think right now off the top of my head, but you have a lot of metal companies that are really rising because of this right now. So you're starting to see a big bullish run again on gold and silver. How long is this going to last? I don't know, because this is a big and huge run. I've been investing in silver for over 15 years. The last time we saw a run like this was around 2009, 2010, when it went to close to like that $50 range. But since then, it has done nothing. It's just been basically flat between the $15 range and $35 range for the last pretty much 15 years. So you're starting to see a lot of movement in the metals market, and the people who have been hoarding metals, your papa, your mamas that who've been having silver just to have it for just in case, are starting to see a run, and you're starting to see a lot of people sell a lot of their precious metals because of the run that's been happening. So we want to look at certain things that are happening. I want to look at certain headline news. We start seeing Yahoo Finance is Trump doubles down on Greenland as markets ready for anything, and this is really a pivotal thing. To me, this the Greenland thing is just basically noise to deflect. But it also has a bearing on the stock market. There's such a thing as socioeconomic investing, meaning this, that you want to look at where is the noise coming from, and you start looking how Even if you look at how the riots are going on in Minnesota, group thinking group thinking just you start seeing one person and it's all like they all collapse and they do irrational things. So you're starting to see the stock market somewhat act irrational. Any bit of news that can turn the market down is you have to look at it. That's called socioeconomic investing, or on a simpler term is just trading the news. That's all you're doing. This is where becoming a capitalist is very important. There's a lot of people that want to pigeonhole you into, like, are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? Where do you lean? Do you lean left or do you lean right? And with all due respect, I don't lean left and I don't lean right. What do I do? Well, according to Exodus chapter 14, I stand. Stand on what? On the promises of God. If God calls something a sin, I'm going to call it a sin. If God calls something holy, I'm going to call it holy. So I look at investing as, I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I don't serve an elephant and I don't serve a donkey. First of all, I live for the the King of Kings, the Lamb that was slain for my iniquities. I follow the Lamb's agenda. That's what I'm all about. So a lot of people want to pigeonhole you and kind of say you're this and you're that. No, I'm a capitalist. That's what I'm looking for. And there's many people that listen to my broadcast, and you kind of sway one way or another, and that's your prerogative. But I want you to look at investing in the stock market as a capitalist, which is news driven events, such as you could pinpoint stuff to like Target Company when they came out against the or with the transgender agenda. Then you start seeing how many people wanted to boycott that company. But you can also use that. And what about the MAGA movement? Well, if you don't align with that, look at what happened to Tesla last year during the March and February because of how precipitous is dropped. So you look at investing from a point of a capitalist, which is you don't care like where the market goes, either or. All you are there is to exploit it. And this basically, that's, I'm a capitalist. I'm looking to ways where I can earn money for my family. I get politics drives a lot of people's emotions and beings, but in a way is being mad is not going to get my bills paid. But investing in companies, whether they're moving up, down, or sideways, can move my family forward. If you start looking at investing from a perspective of I'm a capitalist and I just want to invest, I don't care what side it is, you start seeing that you can make money in the stock market being a neutral trader. The Bible talks about there will be wars and rumors of wars. Then the end shall come. So to me is I take the Bible and say, okay, the Bible talks about there will be this. There will be wars and rumors of wars. I take it as why not look at defense contractors? Why not look at companies like Palantir, Halliburton, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, so on and so forth? You start seeing that. You start looking at it from, okay, the Bible says this will happen. Now, you also talk about the Bible saying, well, at the end, we will all be in a one world system. We will be in a one world monetary system. As a Christian investor, I look at what is the things that are moving us towards that. First, it started with the credit card. Now we start seeing where cryptocurrency could be the next wave, where we will move into a global world economy. It will happen. God said it, and if God said it, he'll do it. And you start seeing how you can use those things, scripture, to invest in the stock market. I look at cryptocurrency as it could be the next thing. Imagine all the saints that when credit cards came out and Visa, MasterCard, American Express went public, imagine if they would have put $10,000 in it, the millions of dollars it'd be worth today. That's where you have to look at investing is what the scriptures say. How can I invest in it? And what about if I don't align with my morals with a certain company? Can I make money off of them? The answer is yes. You can make money off a company whether it's going up, down, or sideways. That's the beautiful thing about being a capitalist. You don't have to pick a side. We already won. You start looking at that when you're doing and you're following the precepts of Christ. You already won. It's not about a land, it's not about a Republican, it's not about a Democrat. It is what can you use the system that we're in? We're in a system, a monetary system. How can I use that to push my family forward? When you start looking and investing in that sort of fashion, everything else really doesn't bother you. It's all noise. So you start looking at yourself as how can I invest my money? And I tell people is this: investing in the stock market is a long-term process. There's no such thing as overnight. You start looking at if you buy good companies with your hard-earned dollars, it is like having a supersized savings account. Instead of putting the money in a bank where it's getting maybe 1% a year, 2 or 3%, whatever it is right now, what about if you put that company in that money or the savings in like a Nvidia, in a Google, in an Alphabet, in an Apple, in a BMNR, in different type of companies, in a Tesla? You start seeing that growth because of inflation, because we're printing out so much money. Your investments are going to grow automatically. In the stock market, you have to look at it as shopping. I love shopping at Costco. And shameless plug, Costco is a good company. But I like shopping. I look at discounts. I like shopping. So think of it as like when you go shopping and you go to a place where they have maybe a BOGO, buy one get one free, or you know that hey, the soap is going to be at a discount, or the meat products is going to be at a discount this week. It's like you're buying a Louis Vuitton purse, but you paying a TJ Maxx price. The stock market is a lot like shopping. Days like today, where the stock market is falling, is the day, in my opinion, where you should run in and buy more. This is what's known as dollar cost averaging, which is many people are fearful. When people are fearful, Warren Buffett said, when people are fearful, be greedy. And when people are greedy, be fearful. That's one of the lessons I've taken from Warren Buffett, which is a day like today when everyone is running away from the market and selling in panic. I'm in there buying. I'm actually been adding Ethereum as it's been falling, Bitcoin too. I'm also looking at stocks where I just want to add more to my positions because it's at a discount. That's where you look at dollar cost averaging right now. One of the other things that we want to look at is the news for Netflix. What is Netflix going to report in earnings? They just said that they're going to make an all cash offer to Warner Brothers. I am really looking at in Netflix right now, but right now I don't want to get in. They have earnings and it could sway either way. With the stock market in an indecision type of mode, I'm almost fearful of putting new positions unless I am adding to already old positions I've already have. So I'm wary on what's happening with that. Also, we're looking for the news on the tariffs. What is the Supreme Court going to do? It looks like Jerome Powell is attending the Supreme Court decision today, which could sway the market. So there's a lot of headline risk, and as a trader, uh, you also have to protect yourself against these headline risks. So as you move forward, we're going to be looking at different stuff later on today. So I'm going to do a couple of videos later on, but I hope to speak to you later on and see you next time, guys.